UFC 276 will be the main theme for our final round. Ding, ding. Okay, boys, is this the best card in recent memory? If not...
this year?
Definitely this year.
Ever?
Yeah, I'd say pretty close to it.
Okay, 4th of July.
We had one card that had 3 title fights on it, didn't we?
Yeah. Was there 3?
Yeah, I think it was 2 dudes and one chicks. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But either way, this is stacked card.
Stacked. 4th of July, long weekend in Vegas. They always like this being one of their premier fight cards for the year. Obviously, long weekend over there in the States. And for us down under, this neck of the woods on their little sort of blue and green marble that floats around the sun, this neck of the woods, there's 2 title fights featuring fighters from Oceania. Of course, I'm talking about Israel, the last style blender, Adesanya, and Alexander the Great Volkanovski. A couple of Seans mixed in too as well. A few SEAN Seans on this stack card. So we'll start with the title fights, and we'll talk about the middleweight title. Israel Adesanya, the champ, going up against Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier. He is ranked 2. Sean, your thoughts on this one?
Doing UFC maths, which is never a great idea. But
us doing maths on this podcast, also not a great idea. So I'm interested to see what you say here.
Well, the common component being Whittaker in this one, and Robert, of course, beating Cannonier not that long ago, and Cannonier only really beating Bronson and Gaslam since is, he has the presence and the physique.
Definitely the physique.
But
that bloke is huge.
Yeah. But
fucking huge.
Monster.
But I don't know if he's got what it takes to get past Israel.
Yep.
I think the style bender is the more talented and more complete fighter out of the two. It'd be interesting to see whether the size is an issue, but then you think of Romero and Costa, etc. Also, massive human beings that, the jungle juice potentially as well.
Are you alleging?
Not alleging anything. I'm just saying they like some juice with a bit of extra spice. But either way, he's fought those guys with big size and won. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. So you got to beat him more with talent and technique, etc. I'm just not sure if Cannonier's got that in that regard.
And he's going up against arguably the best middleweight fighter of all time, a dude that's never lost at 185 pounds in Izzy. And he's going to have his weight cut out for him, and I'm sure he is an underdog in this one. This is going to be the 5th title defence now for Izzy. It's starting to get up there for title defences. More on Cannonier. So he is 15-5 in MMA record. He started his UFC career at light heavyweight, so that's why he's got that massive frame. But he is 6 foot tall, whereas Adesanya is 6'4". So obviously very different builds. The question is going to be: can he take him down? If he can take Israel down? With the wrestling background, that's probably the only fear moving forward.
But we said that about all those other guys I just mentioned before, and no one's really been able to do it besides Jan. But then Jan had 30 pounds on him by the time that fight started. So it's a different ball game, I think.
So you're backing Izzy in for the win here?
Yeah, I'll go Izzy.
I'll go Izzy too. Monks, you had the odds there. He's pretty short priced.
Yeah. I can't go past Izzy at $1.24. Cannonier is $4.10 at the moment.
What's is there any under overs on rounds? Because I think Izzy's last 5. No, sorry.
You're looking at your.
I'm Cannonier here. I think Izzy's gone the distance a lot.
He went the distance for Robert, and his last one lost early in the third. No, did he go the distance with Jan?
No, I think it got stopped, didn't it, against Jan? No, he went the distance.
Distance.
So distance.
Stopped.
So when he belted Paulo Costa, that got stopped in the second round. So 4 of his last 5 have gone the distance. Just the Paulo Costa fight.
Yeah.
He got pissed on the red wine the night before, apparently.
Yes.
That's it. I guess you call it the over-unders for this one. $1.86 that will go the distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, there's shit odds there. $1.86 yes, $1.83 no. Unofficial sponsor Sportsbet really patting their pockets with that market, aren't they?
Yep.
Next one?
For Aussies, probably the big one, the trilogy between Alex the Great Volkanovski, the current champ, against the number one contender, Max Holloway. These two have had a few wars already. Volk's 24-1 in his MMA record, undefeated since joining the UFC. His only one loss was like 10 years ago, something crazy like that. It's his fourth title defence, so we spoke about Izzy going for his fifth. Fourth one here for Alex, two of those against Max.
And he won the belt against Max,
Yep, and then Ortega, so this will be four. So he won against Max, then defended against Max. That was the Fight Island one, where a lot of people had scored Max winning that one. Then he had the Ortega one where Ortega nearly choked him out and then miraculously was able to survive and beat him that one. That one went the distance as well. And then he had the Korean zombie sort of one-sided demolition, which was only 3 months ago.
Yeah, so that's four, and this will be his fifth defence.
This will be fourth.
You just counted it off?
No. So the first one he won the title. So it's not a defense. It's not a defense.
Oh yeah. No. I thought he was counting up.
Yeah.
4 defences. So.
So this will be the fourth defense.
Yep.
Because the first time he won the belt.
Yes.
We're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay. He's been training in Auckland with Izzy at City Kickboxing, sort of jumping in between Australia, New Zealand, and the US. Now,
that's the big fighting camp. All the other Aussie boys are there as well, and the Kiwi boys. So that's the big camp.
What about Max? Do you think he has a shot here? Obviously, a lot of Max fans thought he was robbed at Fight Island there.
Well, a lot were saying he was the greatest featherweight of all time before Volk came along and took that belt. And he's arguably, he's number 2 in that division behind Alex. They've made that quite clear with their resumes and with their recent activity that is the case. So hence why they're doing the trilogy. Both have great records and great history. I think either way, it's going to be another barn burner of a fight. I don't know. That style of Max of high volume and to build damage. Volk has had the game plan in the previous 2 fights to deal with that. It's not worried about the cardio aspect of those fights.
Neither of these guys are. They're both cardio machines.
Yeah, exactly. So, even if they're going to push the pace, they're going to have to push it to a superhuman, unreal area for either of them to get tired in this. I don't see that happening. Potentially another 5-round war incoming, and we'll see who's standing by the end of it.
Holloway's last 6 fights have gone the distance, which is pretty crazy. One of the most prolific strikers in UFC history. So this one, wouldn't be surprised if it goes the distance. And then, if Holloway does beat Volk, they have to run that. You have to run it back.
Just keep rolling it.
Yeah.
So I think there's chat for Alex if he wins this that he might get a champion v champion. So, which would be
going up or going down?
Wait,
I don't know. I'd say it makes more sense to go down for Alex, but that's still hard.
But he's only short. Like he's only 5'6". He could go down and then fight. But as Aljamain Sterling probably, he hasn't cleaned out the division.
Yeah, well, I think
Volk has.
But I think it's this Henry Cejudo talk. Like if Henry wins that belt,
okay.
Considering he's coming back and. I saw rumours of a champ v champ fight. Charles has probably cleared out that division, so maybe that's the case there.
Yeah.
But Alex will be giving up a lot to come up. Like Charles is a big dude for lightweight.
Yeah, it'd be hard. It would be hard for him to go up. You could see him going down. It'd be interesting if Holloway loses, and he's. You can say what you like about the fight at Fight Island. Maybe Holloway was unfair in that one. Does he get another chance, or do they say, sorry, 3's enough, you didn't get the win?
Well, there's no one left in that division. You go all the way down to 6, and Alex has already beaten all those dudes.
Yeah, true.
And
true.
none of those dudes have probably beaten Max. So,
Yep.
it's just the state of where that division's currently at the moment. Hence why I think there's a chat about champ versus champ fight.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I think Max will go away, can beat one or two of those guys easily. Well, not easily, but beat those guys, maintain his number one spot, and they got to run that back. They'll keep going until one of them dies.
Jesus. Retires.
Yeah.
Retires.
Yeah, exactly. Like 10 plus fights against each other.
Retired.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm saying they could spend the next 5 years just going back and forth. It could be they need someone to step up in that division to really push their case. And Alex has beaten all the other dudes, and Max has beaten all those other dudes. There's no one really there.
Volk versus Holloway, 50 in the nursing home.
Yep.
Ends in death.
That's it. Well, is there anyone in lightweight that you could see probably jumping down to?
There was chat about Josie Aldo as well, potentially coming back up.
Aldo's not that old as well. I think because he experienced so much success at such a young age. I think we've spoken about it on the pod before. You kind of think he's older than he is. Jose is 35. Yeah, so it's like he kind of feels like he's a bit older than that.
Yeah, and whether he's stuck in bantamweight and comes back, but still, he comes back up to featherweight, but he's still, he's middle of the pack currently in the bantamweight division. They're at third. So TJ's been booked against Sterling. So that was the news. Pillashaw's got
Which
that.
Is good, yeah, because that was who Sterling called out after his win. He wanted Pillashaw.
Yeah. So and then Yarn, whether there's a Yarn Aldo fight there, I'm not sure. But yeah, he's still in that spot. Whether he comes back up.
So cool, as obviously as Aussies, and talking about Izzy, Aussies like to claim New Zealanders as well. But to talk about two guys, that are clear kings of their divisions, just cleaning them out. It's going to be a cool card. Obviously a big draw card for the US viewers. On July 4 long weekend, but obviously a lot of interest here in UFC 276. Now, the non-title fights, this card is stacked a long way down, so we won't fully preview, I don't think, all of these fights. Just mention them. Yep. So middleweight also sees Sean Strickland, who's the 4th overall. He's been around for a very long time, taking on unranked Alex Pereira out of Brazil. Strickland has 16 fights in the UFC. He's 25-3 overall.
Long-term
UFC. Record, long term in there, and Pereira, I think, has sort of been fast tracked after some pretty impressive performances so far.
Is Pereira the one that does all the spinny shit?
Yeah, he does. He does do a lot of spinny shit and flips.
Just making sure my memory is right.
Yeah, that's the one. It can be hard with some of the Brazilians.
So I think that's actually
there is so many of them.
Potentially a slight step up for him in making it onto the pay-per-view. I think he was the 5th fight on our pay-per-view, and most of his other stuff has been prelims or lower than that. So
it's impressive. It's considering all the names on this card that he's going to get the third.
Considering Robbie Lawler is on the prelim.
Women's flyweight sees third ranked Lauren Murphy taking on Miesha Tate. Miesha Tate obviously has been around for a long time. She was fighting in bantamweight and she's coming down to take on Lauren Murphy. And then a really cool fight in bantamweight. Pedro Muniz, the 10th ranked bantamweight, taking on Sugar Sean O'Malley.
He's a big stocky dude as well.
Who finally...
Sean O'Malley,
finally has his ranking. Now, Sugar Sean, he doesn't have a victory over a top 10 opponent.
Hasn't faced one yet, I think it's the main
thing. Marlon Vera, the one where he didn't lose.
Yeah,
he didn't
I beat myself, etc.
Yeah, exactly. So his actual only loss in the UFC was to Marlon Vera, who is currently ranked 5th, I believe. So Sugar Sean, we've seen him demolish, a lot of his opponents. Some really cool finishes. He's got that flamboyant, crazy style. You don't know what he's going to throw at you. This will be a fun fight. And if he wants to be a serious contender in the bantamweight division, he needs to start beating guys that are ranked higher than him.
And just looking at that list, like Robbie Lawler, Jim Miller, and Donald Cerrone on there.
Some absolute legends.
Jurassic Guy, Brad Travis. There's a lot of big names.
Even in the early prelim card, like this is one of those ones where you probably just turn on the free stuff and watch it, early on Sunday
6 hours of fight.
Sunday morning, next week. And Brad Riddell as well. He's a Kiwi that fights out of city kickboxing. He's on that card there against Jalen Turner. It's there's a lot of fun fights that will be underway, and for us Aussies, I suppose we hope that Volk can defend this title again. But looking forward to catching some good fights next week.
Definitely.
That Mr. Tate fight's cancelled.
Okay. COVID?
Yeah. Undisclosed.
Injury
reason
maybe.
given.
So what's the replacement? They said
It doesn't look like there's a replacement yet.
Interesting.
They have to do 5, so they'll bump one of the others up, and probably looking at
Probably
Lawler or
Lawler,
the
Barberena.
welterweights for Jim Miller and Donald Cerrone because they're well known.
Well, yeah, they're both like old heads. Like Jim Miller got the most fights in the UFC. I think we might have spoken about that
Potentially.
before. I'll see if I can chase that one up. I feel like I might have heard that before. Jim Miller is 38.
That's breaking news too, by the way, James. That happened 2 hours ago.
Nice. Double breaking news on the Esky, mate.
But give him some credit. You just had I'm just seeing if there's anything. Nothing about replacement yet. So
No.
yeah. The other story that goes with that was Robbie Lawler was surprised he'd be on the prelims. Bobby Green was meant to fight Jim Miller instead of Cerrone.
that's
so
right.
Cerrone's stepping in late.
Yeah.
Which is pretty well known for his career.
Yep.
And that's why it's at welterweight.
And Jim Miller does have the most fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say either that or Robbie will get bumped up into that 5th spot.
Some awesome fights. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Heaps good.